journey, yes. So we have been understanding, what is that? We have been understanding that how to break the pattern of suffering, or we can say the mental stress. And you have to open your video. I don't know, Charlie is here. So, so, anyhow, so how to break this pattern of the stress is to identify what is false. What is exactly is the false. I am stressed. What it means that who is this I am? Is it body? Is it mind? Is it my so-called the soul? We assume everything. We assume I am the body. We assume I am an individual. We assume I am the soul. So we don't know who is anxious and who is stressed. Because I don't know, so I assume it. So when I assume it, it is false identification. I had a lot of thoughts in meditation. Who is this crazy eye who has a lot of thoughts? We don't inquire. But when it comes to blaming and complaining others, we can write 1,000 pages. We can continue blaming and complaining others for responsible for my problem. So where the problem and the solution exist, it exists in the mind. So if we look closely and observe the very nature and function of the mind, the journey of the self-inquiry begins. And I don't see you, and I don't hear you if you are speaking. But if you are listening and listening to me, that too is okay. I have seen you hundreds of times, so no problem. So the self-inquiry is required. What is the process of the self-inquiry? We observe a simple thing. But the problem is we don't want to observe ourselves. We want to observe everyone. My near and dear ones, how much you are wrong, why you are wrong, in what way I can blame you. I don't want to. I have taken myself for granted. So take yourself for granted that you are made for stress and suffering and enjoy. What is the reason? My ego. Haha. My ego. My ego says whatever I say is right. Whatever I assume is right. Whatever others say is wrong, including my near and dear ones. So that is why Master says we have lot of confusions, assumption, presumption, that is causing the mind the delusion, and we have to inquire this. So the ultimate goal, when we inquire, then what happens? We discover we are not what we have been thinking. We are something more than that. We also experience the calmness and peace, and gradually we reach to the summit of our evolution, that our nature is peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. And that is known as awakening. So we need to contemplate in what ways do we automatically identify with our emotional state? I am, give a pause before you say I am in stress. I am plus I am in stress. Then I am plus my mind is in stress. Science also understands anything by cause and effect relationship. Is the stress cause or effect? How simple it is, but we don't want to do it. I have already assumed, Whatever you, weird guy, keep on speaking, trying to make me understand, I will keep my assumption intact. That is why you are suffering. You don't want to break your assumptions. So come back. I'm in stress. Stress is an effect. What is the cause of that stress? You are the cause. The other one is the cause. The world is the cause. So you are sitting there and I have a stress here and I say you are the cause. Is it possible? Is it possible? Hot iron bar is 10 feet away and I say I feel too much of heat now. We don't want to understand it. When you do not want to understand, that is known as ignorance. When you say that I am in stress, that is a delusion. So we continue suffering, and that is known as the cause is the external blame is wrong. Effect is the stress causes the external. The second is the limiting belief. I put self-imposed limitations as real. And that is why if we inquire, self-inquiry means, find the cause and effect relationship. We do it every day. Why we do it? Because by discovering the cause and effect relationship of all kinds of suffering, we will find what is essential nature and what is superficial nature. The essential nature of fire is heat. When that essential nature of fire transfers to our bowl where we are cooking something, that heat becomes, the bowl becomes hot. Vegetable becomes hot. But it is the essential nature of the fire, not me, not the bowl. In that case. So find out, I am in stress today in the morning and the stress is gone in the afternoon. Again I saw you in the evening and I had a lot of the stress. Oh, so what happened? What is my essential nature? What is my superficial nature? Because I see your presence, I go into stress. But couple of years before, couple of years you were my soulmate. So did the fire changes its essential nature? You bring the fire at any place, any location, in anything. The essential nature of fire is heat. What I want to prove. That is how the science also proves. What is my essential nature? If stress is my essential nature, it cannot be undone. Am I right or not? If my nature is stress and anxiety, it cannot be undone. But I always try to get rid of the stress. So something inside me says, no, this is not your nature. I don't want to recognize it. Why? Again, the honey comes, I'm in stress because of you. Do you see the delusion part? That is the only problem. That is ignorance and impurities. We have assumed so many things in our life. And so, what is the Eastern wisdom? It is a knowledge, it is an understanding. I will reclaim my inner peace. I untie the knots of mental stress from my life, first by understanding, having a clarity, and once the clarity, the impressions are still present. It may come back, so then I have to do the practice. So the practice removes those impressions, and this knowledge makes me understand. Why to understand? So whenever the stress comes, my mind should become aware and say, no, reject it. What we do, first we invite all the crazy thoughts, we go into the stress, and then we say, now let me practice meditation. And that is why we are not progressing into meditation. Mental chatter. Chatter, obviously, what we say, that I have lot of thoughts, my mind is distracted. My mind is distracted because of many thoughts. Every thought has, just take two or three components. Every thought has an object. Object is present in the world outside. So that mind, when you have those multiple thoughts, basically you have a multiple objects or a people or situation or the event. But why the mind is running after those multiple objects and feeling? Because I'm searching happiness outside in them. Honey, if you behave like this, if you become like a machine, honey, when I push the button, keep smiling, so it makes me happy. I will push the second button and you become angry, and then I will blame you, then I will be happy. This is what I want and expect from my life and my relationship. And then you are blaming your own mind by mind. My mind is distracted. You are greater than Einstein. Your discovery is great. Our discovery is great. You are responsible. I gave you an example of the fire. Iron bar lying 10 feet away. Don't do this, iron bar, I'm feeling hot. Really? You identify you will feel hot. Why identification? Because I create a false assumption and I create an image in my mind, imagined heat. And then we have a problem. The our masters say that just you should find the real self. At least you should start the journey. When you start the journey, you will start finding on the way that you feel calm and peace and the joy. But during the journey, we put our own thoughts, and that is causing the problem. That is causing the problem. And that is what, we have started the story. Half imaginary rope tied to the donkey. That donkey is our mind. Possibly, if I say possibly, because you seem to be all much younger than me. So, but even if we have lived about 40 to 50 years of our life, we have passed through a lot of anxiety, fear, duality, reaction, blame, and complaint. We never inquired why, mind, you continue with that stress, anxiety, blame, complaint, repeated thoughts. Why? We don't want to find out. Do you know why? Again, find the cause. Why? We have taken for granted the entire world is crazy, except me. So don't live in the world. I can bet you today you sit down with eyes closed, even for 5 to 10 minutes, where all the suffering lies, your mind will blame, complain the world outside. What is the world outside? A particular situation, a particular age. When I was 20, that guy caused me so much of trouble. 30 years of age, my body is causing me the trouble. No, you are causing the trouble to the body. You should have avoided it. At the age of the 50, our knee joints are knocking. You are the problem. You have not taken care of it. At the age of this, I lived my life, I had, we become philosophers, I suffer a lot of pain in my life. So go to our president, he will give you a presidential medal. We don't hit upon our crazy mind. We don't want to inquire. We have passed through all the ages, different situations. Everyone. There is no one who did not find challenging situation, problems, anxiety, reaction, relationship challenges, including this guy. Why I should exclude myself? But Eastern wisdom says there is a way, there is an understanding. Otherwise, otherwise, what is going to happen? We enter this world crying, we will leave the world crying. Crying in a different way. A lot of stress, a lot of mental illnesses. Now, I had a 67-year-old woman who has been practicing, and in the beginning, she has 5 or 6 complaints. You see how this journey helps you, but we don't talk about it. We should not. It happens in another dimension. And you can attend Mondays and Thursdays session, you can find out and knows. So the 2 women, the first, let me talk about the second woman who lives nearby you guys in New York. Around our age, 60. 20, almost 20 years, she has been suffering from Parkinson. We already know what is Parkinson. For the last almost 1.5 years, she has no tremors, no movement in the body at all. Your commitment, your understanding. She picks up the principle, she contemplates and reflects, and she practices. Yes, she is not able to stand up on her own. She keeps the nanny or the maid to take care of herself, but as far as her movement, shivering, tremors, we have not seen. And everyone in the group is surprised. We don't talk about it. So if that can happen, the impact of the stress and anxiety in the body can also be gone by the practice. So I laid the foundation to make you understand about the story of this second woman. She has been with me for a couple of years now. She is committed. She said, no, I will continue to do 1 session per week to know more and more, to evolve myself more. So she told me that instead of having a couple of bags of wine, I said to myself that I'm spending sometime $100 and $150. Why shouldn't I shift that money? I said, thank you very much. It helps me. But more than that. Now you see, when you have that cause and effect, so first she stopped it. So there is own benefit of it. She is alone. She is single. She is retired. So she has 5 or 6 complaints as investigated by the doctor. By the way, I should tell you, did I talk about it? That's a very interesting, you have to think. When you blame and complain, the mind goes into each cell of your body and it causes a negative situation of reaction, of anger, etc., of upset. So doctor investigates you. And then doctor says, here is a medical report. He never says, here is a medical complaint. Report is the same. Investigation is the same. But if you say, here is a medical blame, or here is a medical report. Are you understanding what I'm saying? We are constantly blaming, complaining. We don't see knee pain. Oh, I'm 60 years, obviously. So I have to let me recharge myself. I have time to take care. No, I have more time to blame and complain. That is what she shifted her mental attitude and behavior. After 3 months, her pain has gone. Rashes on the skin is gone. She sent an email to me. Rashes is gone. One of her son out of the 3 sons, one son is not doing very well. So she used to have an anxiety. There is no reason. Now that anxiety is gone. It is possible. If we want, really commit to the journey. And committing to the journey without blind belief, without false assumption. Do you ever think, now I have reached to this state, I want to get rid of all these issues. I have lived with it. No, I will cherish those blame and complain and reaction in my life. So those who cherish, they suffer. So because of its habit, because of its so much of pressure it gives you, because you live that life, your mind doesn't want to believe and change its behavior and attitude. So when we do not want to change, then the mind says, I'm always ready for you. No worries. The journey of the self-inquiry, identification, delusion, false assumption. Self-inquiry is not about suppressing your thought, but understanding where this thought is heading me to, how it is causing these impressions, feeling, and if I remove this thought, if I drop this, what happens to my mind? I want to remove that person from my life instead of removing those thoughts. We all might have thought one time in our life. Don't tell me that you have never thought of it. That guy should be gone. Should die. At least I'll be in peace and happiness. Don't tell me that you don't have those thoughts at any point of time. Everyone has it. If you tell me you did not have a single thought, then you are telling a lie. So think of this, think. There are a lot of things. At the young age, my friend criticized me because we were open in the age of 20s. We can say any damn thing. Even we say our dad, you are crazy. So, but now at this age, younger ones who are near and dear to me, or even our kids, they start objecting to our decision that we are making. So we are facing the same situation every time in our life, every day in our life. So it means I cannot change the situation outside. I have to change my mind, how to respond. I have become mature. Yes, I have become mature. Why? What is the sign of maturity? The entire world is crazy, except me. That is the ultimate goal in this age. Then I sit down because I'm now retired. I have a lot of time to think and blame and complain. Think of it, my friend. Think. Self-inquiry is required. If we don't do this self-inquiry, there is no other way. No pills can help you. Do you know terramycin? Terramycin is a pill. So there are many pills which ends with the sin. So when you eat these pills, you accumulate the sin, the after effects. It sounds the sin, whether the spelling is CIN. So close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. And again, you asked me the right question. Understand it? Place, position, and posture. Why I started with it? To trigger your mind to live in a higher awareness. That is the goal. But on the other hand, we also find it is the preparatory step for meditation. Both. So the teachers in this Eastern wisdom, they use hundreds of ways to trigger your mind to move into that state of awareness. So place, aware of the place outside your body, and that place means also the location. Place identifies with the location. You see that? Place also means a location where you are sitting. Now you are aware that your body is sitting. Body is sitting, you are not. You are different than the body. Can you maintain that aware? You are different than the body. The body is sitting. I'm keeping that understanding. So every time, wherever you go, you have to be aware it is the body goes. And then the position of the body. You have, say if you have a bending position in a session, then obviously people will look at it. People will look and will start thinking differently. Same way, the position of the body with our honey or near and dear ones also defines my mind. Do you see that? Defines the state of the mind, the attitude of the mind. That becomes the posture. That attitude. Oh, that attitude. So your attitude of calmness in the mind, does it defines the posture? We already know. It defines. I keep a very sad face. If I have to settle some score with my near and dear ones, and then what happens? You keep on doing it, it becomes your habit. And then you say, why am so much of stress? So we will go deeper into this place, position, and posture. Yes, in Hatha Yoga we say the posture is number of asanas that you practice, but that is a primary level. That is the basics. That journey is for the kids. Now be comfortable. I told you again that any time you can do the practice of being comfortable mentally and emotionally, you change the direction of the mind. You move consciously to a relationship where you find there is a chance of reaction. They are very much practical, applied level. And then, so that we are doing it in a simple way. You change the direction of the mind to drop the delusion. And last time I think I talked about colored glasses. After the cataract surgery, doctor told me you have to wear this UV dark colored glasses. And I always feel little bit uncomfortable because I feel it. Why? Those colored glasses are different from me. Do I feel the same? My discomfort is different from me. It is falsely caused by something outside. That changes the direction of the mind. I help you to do it in a very simple way. You rise in awareness. You simply look at the neck joint. Let us look at the neck joint. So when you look at the neck joint, what it means? Hey, it means you are looking mentally, not physically, because your eyes are closed. You just, if you say affirmation to my explanations, that is also helping you in the practice. But what happens? You are looking mentally to your thoughts, so you recognize that your mind is distracted. How much I can do? So I'm not aware and attentive. I'm more aware, subconsciously aware of all those thoughts. So that is why I experience distraction in the practice of meditation. What a great achievement. So you look at the neck joint. What it means? It means you know. It is mental. You feel. It is mental. You are aware of neck joint. Physically, if you look, that is a different. It is mental perception. That is what we are not, mind is not trying to understand. So if there is no mental perception of the neck joint, there will definitely be a mental perception of the past thoughts. That causes the distraction in the mind. But if you continue to keep your awareness on the neck joint, you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness, we are done. Sometimes we say it is a slip of a tongue. So it is just a slip of the mind. Here, no, there. There on the shoulder joints, feeling, knowing, experiencing sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The entire body or the bunch of thoughts. Mental perception, you are mentally seeing. Mentally seeing the entire body, and you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Now see, draw the conclusion from their knowledge. Without understanding and knowledge, if you practice meditation, it becomes a habitual practice. It will put you more into the same uh, problem of delusion. So what we said, I told you the slip. Just a slip here or there. So you slip from the bunch of the thoughts and you slipped into recognizing the entire body as a sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Recognize another point. Because you slipped, so it means all the thoughts are different and separate from you. that becomes the next step. That is what I say, the being carefree. Again, my friends, I say it is mental perception. So the entire journey of the meditation also helps you to develop a new, higher perception than the physical perception. Meditation is the journey to move inside. So the being carefree, what I have been saying you, I've been giving you an example of the sky and the birds flying in the sky. The sky remains untouched. That's a very far off example. Can you give me some nearby example? Your space, the space in your room. Space in your room. You jump in your room, you play, you sit, you stand. Nothing happens to the space. Nothing happens to the space in the room. It neither increase nor decrease. You see that nor decrease doesn't contract, doesn't no expansion. So when you are clear that awareness behind the thoughts have no expansion or contraction, it neither increase nor decrease. That is our awareness, and that awareness, or you can say a deeper state of the mind, it will work. That is being carefree. You see that I always try to implement and apply what we discuss in the beginning. If you pay attention, if you listen to it again, if you repeat listening, contemplation, reflection, you will recognize that even I can talk about this. When you feel that I can talk about this to myself, you are progressing into meditation, because if you can talk about this to your mind, you can talk about in any situation in life. So last time we did, the next step is to purity of the mind, changing the breath with the focus. So now look inside the forehead in the space, mental perception. You see, it is not a physical perception. There are different type of perception. I perceive the color through my eyes, I perceive the smell through the nose, I perceive the taste through the tongue. The perception means knowledge and understanding. The modern psychology says it is a cognition. So I'm not using the complex words. So you are looking inside the forehead in the space, and then there, just maintain your mind keeps on looking that space or emptiness inside your head in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness, and start breathing quick and fast from both your nostrils, keeping your mouth closed, lips together. One thing is sure, you don't stop it. Continue. When you stop, before I say you, it is the objection and resistance by the crazy mind that is holding you to change. So that is another way that if the mind resists, I make sure that I continue doing it. Why? I want to break the comfort zone of the mind. That is indirect approach to the mind. Continue breathing quick fast, breathing into your rib cage through both the nostrils, keeping your lips together. So what to do when mind resists? Mind says, let me stop it. Endure it. How to endure it? Say in your mind, no, I have to do it. I have to change myself. You say it and then you start doing it. So where the endurance lives, it lives in the intellect. When the intellect says in terms of the thoughts and the feeling, you can endure it. And when you can endure it, so what happens? Then the same mind will say, there is a joy of doing it. I experience the freshness and a calmness. That is the subtle nature of this step in any meditation. So we are just doing habitually, animally, and I feel a little bit of freshness and that's okay. That is not going to work. If it is not working in your life, that is the reason. We are repeating the same steps as we did last time, but with a deeper understanding. That is that is why every meditation journey is different, because it is based on the knowledge and understanding. Are you still breathing? I hope so. Keep on breathing. Keep your mind keeps on perceiving that space inside your forehead. Mental perception, again I'm repeating. Mind can imagine the infinite space, that is okay. Anything that is that is alike. And leave it. Start looking, feeling the flow of the breath. Examine the flow of breath. You know what happens? The mind is such a crazy instrument that if it you have lot of impressions in your mind that does not want to change, your mind will put you in laziness and you will sleep. Even breathing practice, I have seen a lot of people. That is an extreme scenario. So you are looking at the flow of the breath. Check the flow through both the nostrils. If they are equal, wonderful. Your mind is already deep inside. If the flow of both the nostrils are equal, and even if they are not equal, you need not to worry. You are just aware. You are aware of the breath moving. You see the breath going in and out. You see, I use different words. You see. How do you see? By mind. What is it? Mental perception. So, mental perception is different from physical perception. Feel the flow of the breath is flow of the breath going in and out. You're doing nothing. You're doing nothing means you're entering into the happening stage. Why we do that into the happening state? In the happening, I am not the doer. So when we are not the doer, we go deeper. So casually, playfully, when the breath goes in, you simply drop in your mind casually in one. When it comes out, out one, into, out one, go on counting the breath, go on counting the breath, and you will discover as if you have lost, as if you have lost awareness around you, you are in a finer, deeper state. Just continue, my friend. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down, we'll share our experiences. How are you, Charlie?
Hi, good. I have been finding it hard this week to I've been very distracted with outside events, and I have been finding it harder to sit. I noticed that when I sit with my mind and I imagine the sky and watching the birds go by, what's happened is my mind puts a whole flock of birds and makes the sky go black so I can't see the sky. It's really weird. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sit here until the sky reveals itself again. I'm experiencing a lot of pushback from my mind.
Good. Good. One question from me to you. You said this week my mind is distracted. Oh, and appeared. We can see that. I did something and you clicked it. I don't hear you. You unmuted. Now, can you say? Never.
Charlie didn't finish.
No. So, can you ask your mind? You said I'm distracted this week. How many weeks until today you lived have passed like this? And what should I do? Weeks and months and years passes and we continue to live in the same way. So when you say this week I'm distracted, my blame is on the week. And after, when you blame on the week, then it means people, places, thoughts, feeling, emotions.
Right.
That needs to be understood.
I think that makes sense. And I think also with the work I've been doing with you, I am more aware of it. So it's probably very similar to what I have experienced. It's just I'm much more aware that it's happening.
Very good. Good to hear. How are you, Sophie?
I am good, Girish. Though this week my legs were coming in the way at it stiff, but okay, I did move, but I didn't reach the same quietness as I sometimes do.
Yeah.
So that thought was obsessing me.
Yeah. Because there is a deep identification with the body, and that is why even a slight discomfort in the body distracts the mind. My
Yeah.
master used to say that, you are sitting in a lotus pose. Okay. So find out after what time you feel the discomfort. So in the very beginning, it was only 15 minutes. The moment it goes into the 16th minute, mind becomes crazy. Body is a matter. Nothing happens. Body is not reacting. It is the mind.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when I went to the master said, tomorrow you sit for 20 minutes and continue to watch how the mind plays tantrum with you. So 20 minutes as if I was sitting for 20 hours. Those 5 minutes of acute discomfort and the pain. And the master laughed at me. He said, tomorrow, 25 minutes. Next week, 30 minutes. After 3 weeks, mind was taking over me, but now I have taken over the mind. That is the principle of practicing the posture. It is not with, now we have Lululemon suit, we'll go flying and we'll go with holding the mat and then we go for the yoga. That is not yoga. Yoga is more about raising your awareness. I know at this age no one is going, but you already see the yoga fashion. It is not yoga practice. That's why the John is not going to any studio. How are you, John?
I'm good, Girish. I'm definitely not going to any yoga studio. I'm good. Even though there's often noise outside on Tuesday nights, I was not distracted tonight.
Beautiful. So, Sophie, you distract him after the session and see whether he is distracted or not. How are you, Mead? Good.
I feel happy, and my mind became very quiet tonight, perhaps for the first time.
Very good.
Because it usually sneaks in there, but my mind was quiet. It was a strange experience.
Beautiful.
It was wonderful.
So So just after the session, sit down, do nothing, and check how much time the mind remains quiet and what happens when the mind is disturbed, so that we can analyze and reflect on it, that these repeated thoughts is causing you the trouble, and we do not pay attention to it, and then you are free. How are you, Anne? You keep on speaking, perhaps, we don't hear you, but we can see you are happy, relaxed, and calm. Uh, don't abuse your computer. It has nothing to do with the computer. So no issue. We will share both the experiences next time. So that is all. We are meeting next week. Thank you very much. We will